welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and today we're going to be talking about not a whiskey. It's not a gin. It's a soju. This is a product of the Southeast Asia. This one comes out of South Korea. Now, of course, this one has to be zero sugar because Mr. Randy's diabetic and I don't like feeling like crap. I'm going to give you a little bit better look. It claims it's the world's #1 spirit. Okay then. Here you have all that natural spillage. I think I've showed this before on the off the rip. It's from grains, tapioca, and potato, and spirits distilled from rice. Somebody needs to learn better English. Here's the back once again. As you can see, all that legal mumbo jumbo jargon and a little bit of health information. But I will go ahead and someday I will maybe try a different version. And I could not find my other glass. Don't recall where it went. Just for you, as you can see, there's not a whole lot used out of this because I'm just going to be quite frank and upfront. This is nothing. This is barely a taste above tap water, if you ask me, and I think you might agree. Not quite sure what the whole, you see it's just about water. On the nose, there's barely anything. There's next to nothing. There is a smell. It has a very light, faint smell. The nose is next to nothing. Let's get on the palate. The palate's even less. There is a sort of weird, like, soft flavor, almost next to nothing. I guess it's the potato and the tapioca that you're tasting because it's distilled from those things. That's the mash bill. There's next to nothing on either thing. And the finish, well, let's go ahead and get that. That is just barely above tap water. Excuse me. Now, I did pay just under $7 out the door for this bottle. This is a 375 milliliter bottle that comes in at 16% ABV. Now, when you got a nose, a palate, and a finish that basically next to nothing, what do you think the score on that's going to be? But before I give you the score, let me talk a little bit about how this is consumed, how this libation is consumed by South Koreans. This soju is basically a social lubrication, if that kind of makes any sense. I guess any kind of alcohol can be considered a social lubrication, but this one is only 16% ABV, which makes it very drinkable because in Japan's society, your boss might expect you to go out with them after work to have drinks. Now, show me a boss that works 10 times harder than you do. By the end of your day, as a Japanese salaryman or whatever, you're done. You just want to go home and go to sleep, but you can't because you have to uphold this sort of social standings and you have to have this sort of company pride, and it's all toxic workplace kind of BS. But this is what they have, and this is what they accept. So you have to go out drinking with your boss, who has probably been bored all day long, and he can't wait to go out and get drunk and have all of these people pretend to like him. It is what it is over there. So in Korea, and I'm sorry, we won't get over there just yet. We'll stay in Japan. So what ends up happening is you, the worker, ends up, celebrating your boss for, a good day at work, and you get kind of wasted because you're drinking sake and beers and whatnot. Ooh. In South Korea, this is what they like to drink and share. It is a lower proof, so it's a lot easier to drink. Like I said, just barely above tap water with alcohol added. So you pour for your superior, and then your superior or your friend, whoever, if you ask your friend out or whatever, you pour for them, and then they pour for you. And then that's how it goes. There's other subtleties about the tradition and the ceremonial kind of thing, but it's kind of low-key ceremony. It's a social drink. They like to drink it, and because they're hanging out, because who knows, maybe they don't want to go home to their wives, their lives, or whatever it is. They like to hang out, but they don't want to get completely wasted. You know, they still want to be able to walk home after all this is said and done. So they drink something with a very low percentage of ABV, something that's very easy, just above tap water. So that's what it is. So now for the score. What did you guess? You're probably wrong. I give it the lowest score I've ever given. That's a weak 1 out of 5. A weak 1 out of 5. Like I said, this tastes just a little bit less than the tap water. I don't drink my tap water, that's for sure, because yeah, the stuff that's in it. And I have scientifically proven what comes out of that tap. I do not drink it. So my fair price on this is an NA, a non-applicable. I don't care because I would not buy this again. As I said, I will do a little bit more research to find out if there's a better option. I think it may be the zero sugar. I think maybe they do add a considerable amount of sugar. Although I have not looked up the nutritional facts of these drinks, other than the fact that I was looking for something with zero sugar. And I think that may be the difference between this tasting it like as it is and maybe tasting it as something that you might be able to want to drink. So I guess I don't have to really say it, but to buy again, no, I would not buy this again. Not this one anyways. I might try another one. I do believe there are 2 other sugar-free versions, different companies or whatnot. I may try those before I try another one. I don't know. But this is one of those non-whiskey things I like to splice in here every now and then. I like to drink sake as well. But it is what it is. So let us know in the comments. Have you tried any soju? Which one would you recommend I try next? As always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy. You have a good one.